The Chicago Sky just learned a painful lesson. Don't make Caitlin Clark wait 7 months to play basketball. After her longest break from organized play, Clark unleashed a historic triple-double that has never been accomplished in a WNBA season opener, leading the Fever to a massive 35-point victory. They're going to make this rivalry comeback, this manufactured rivalry. By the way, the Indiana Fever defeated the Sky by nearly 40 points, winning 93-50. The Sky problem was that they had no response to Clark's. The Fever didn't just win, they just announced their arrival as contenders. We'll break down how Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever put Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky in their place on opening night. If you're rocking with the Fever, comment baby goat over baby giraffe below. It's time to get serious about our business and Caitlin Clark. Brilliance, Boston's dominance inside, or the Fever's suffocating defense that held the Sky to an appalling 29% shooting. Handled her business in games 1 and 10 of 20,000, 110 and 10. What did the kids say about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Belt to ass. The Indiana Fever destroyed, obliterate, run out of the gym. The Chicago Sky 93-58. Had to sit and wait for 7 months since her last professional basketball game. 7 months of hearing critics question whether she could improve in year 2 after her spectacular rookie season. 7 months of Angel Reese talking trash to everyone. Who would listen? Does it seem like an eternity has passed since you played a game that mattered, or does it feel like it's gone by quickly? I didn't know going into the offseason how it would feel, but it feels like it was only yesterday that it was January, and I was eagerly awaiting this first game. I was thinking about this moment, and you think it will take a long time to arrive, but it doesn't if you just stay consistent in what you do, follow your routines, and stay busy. For someone who has played basketball all her life, the offseason dragged on as concerns about Clark's game grew. Would she be able to handle the physicality of the game? Would she reduce turnovers? Most importantly, could she lift the Fever to contender status? I'm eager to play. I think it's different when it's the first game of the season. Like, you're just really excited to get out there. There's a little anxiety, but nothing I haven't experienced before. But more than anything, I believe that once you finally enter the building, get there and get into your routine of getting ready for the game, you're pretty locked in. I'm ready to play right now. Forget warm-ups. The preseason only increased the pressure because although she had moments of brilliance, she also struggled with leg issues that kept her out of commission for parts of it. But let's face it, only Reese and the media treat this as a rivalry, which is great for sport. I understand that I grew up loving rivalries. Like, I grew up in Iowa State, which is like a pro matchup in the state of Iowa. Valley High School was our biggest rival. It was the largest class in Iowa. I was taught to hold my breath if we were driving by the high school because I couldn't breathe that air. From the first few minutes, you could see something different about Clark. The hesitation that occasionally plagued her rookie season was gone, and there was no more second guessing or hostility. I'm sure there are many people from Valley High School that love me and support me now, and I appreciate that. However, I wasn't your biggest fan growing up, and I didn't like the Tigers. It wasn't just Caitlin Clark playing well. She was sending a message. By halftime, the Fever were ahead by 19 points, and Clark was already flirting with history with 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. She played with a freedom we hadn't seen since her Iowa days, dominating everything in sight. Her first three-pointer crashed through the net clean and confident, followed by no-look passes that left defenders frozen. Rebounds she snatched away from players much taller, and defensive stops that no one had anticipated from her. When she grabbed her 10th rebound in the fourth quarter, she completed a triple-double with 20 points and 10 assists already in hand. No player in WNBA history had ever recorded a triple-double in a season opener, not even Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, or Sue Bird. This performance addressed all of the questions regarding Clark's ability to influence the professional game. The second half wasn't about whether the Fever would win. That was already decided. Instead, it was about history and whether Clark could continue her incredible all-around performance. The message became very clear with accurate passing and timely scoring. The 7-month wait hadn't dulled her skills. Rather, it had sharpened her hunger. For Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, that meant complete disaster more than anything else. As a player, you approach every game the same way, or you should, and you prepare the same way. You come ready to play, whether it's the last team in the league or the first team in the league, it doesn't matter. I think it's great, the fans love it, and that Chicago is the closest team to us. I understand it geographically, but I think that for our team and group, we prepare the same way for every game, but I think that today will be an amazing game. However, nobody saw the Fever turn into a defensive monster overnight, and Chicago's players went into the game believing they were prepared for a shootout, but instead they walked straight into a nightmare. All right, y'all, good stuff. I thought our defense was really good, and when we made mistakes, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things work. What a fantastic effort, everyone. From the first tip, the Fever swarmed the court like they had 6 defenders on it. Every shot was contested. Every passing lane was clogged. Every drive was met with multiple defenders. And the Chicago players couldn't find any rhythm or space to operate. They looked completely lost. Steph said that we were relentless and played through possessions, but that physicality and that relentlessness wears on a team. After that, they felt us every cut, talking, communicating, and flying around. The 6th and 7th Sky Center looked completely overwhelmed, unable to establish any presence inside against Boston's perfect positioning and timing. Boston did more than just defend. She intimidated, altering countless shots that don't show up in the box score. The numbers tell the shocking story of Chicago's offensive meltdown. Boston stood at the center of this defensive mastery. She dominated the paint with 5 blocks, tying her career high. What she did to Camila Cardoso, her former South Carolina teammate, was almost unfair. Their three-point shooting was even at 1% from the field, or worse at age 22. Remember Lexi Hull, the player who Fever fans adore for her grit and hustle? She turned into a defensive menace off the bench with 9 points, 9 rebounds, and endless hustle plays that had the crowd chanting her name. Hull threw her body around for loose balls, fought through screens, and disrupted Chicago's offense with pure determination. Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look. Why couldn't the Sky hit shots despite Reese's rebounding? The Fever's a concerted defensive effort forced Chicago into difficult shots throughout the evening. Boston and Clark combined for 9 blocks, and the Fever didn't just defend individually. They talked, rotated, and supported one another flawlessly. By the fourth quarter, Chicago looked completely broken, turning the ball over 17 times, many of them unforced because they couldn't execute even basic offensive sets against the Fever's unrelenting defense. What began as a game swiftly became a statement. The Indiana Fever weren't just Caitlin Clark and a supporting cast. They were a full team, prepared to suffocate opponents on the defensive end. This will be the biggest story for the next 3 quarters. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's hard foul on Angel Reese. With less than 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter, the tension that had been building between Clark and Reese finally boiled over in a moment that will be replayed 1,000 times this season. Basically, Angel Reese gets the ball, Caitlin Clark goes over, commits a hard foul, and then Angel Reese falls to the ground. After that, Angel Reese gets up feeling very spicy and charges at Caitlin Clark. As she is leaving, Aaliyah Boston intervenes and sort of stops Angel Reese. And Courtney Vanderloo also steps in and tries what she later called a simple fake foul to stop an easy layup from Angel Reese. It was just a normal basketball play to stop an easy 2 points. But the officials had a different idea. They went to the monitor, reviewed the play, and upgraded it to a flagrant foul. This decision immediately caused controversy among fans, commentators, and even players on the court. But when you really watch the replay, something feels strange. Angel came charging in like she wanted smoke, like she was about to throw up. But the problem is that if she truly wanted to confront Caitlin, what was stopping her? Her body language felt forced, as if she was putting on a tough, angry, and tough performance. The officials gave Ree and Boston technical fouls for their roles in the altercation, but let's be honest. From that point on, Angel Reese vanished from the game. She was in her zone, and it seemed like Clark didn't just eat the foul. She took over the situation, both mentally and physically. The big question now is whether the fire came from Reese or from Aaliyah Boston, who rushed to Clark's defense and got right in the middle of the situation. The Indiana Fever handled business today, but in the midst of all the drama between Clark and Reese, something truly historic happened that didn't get nearly enough attention. Is it true that the Fever didn't just defend Clark verbally? Here's where it gets interesting. After that egregious foul call, Indiana went on a devastating 12-2 run that completely broke the game open. It was as if the confrontation flipped a switch and the Fever played with even more intensity. Oh, Chicago Sky, I had you overrated. Oh, how I overestimated what I would see from the Chicago Sky. Dana Bonner's 2 free throws put her in 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list, but while everyone was focused on the rivalry, a real legend was quietly making history right in front of us. The contrast is so stark that while social media was ablaze with videos of the rivalry between Clark and Reese, the Fever celebrated Bonner's amazing accomplishment as a team. The way they came together to support her demonstrated their growing chemistry and respect for the history of the game. That alone tells you everything you need to know about the difference between Clark and Ree 1. One player attempted to personalize it while the other made it about the team and created history in the process. We wanted to start the season by letting everyone know that we are a new team with one goal. Did we play our best game today? I would say that we didn't, but we still destroyed the Chicago Sky, so we were proud of that. Sophie Cunningham was not in the lineup, and she was probably the first player to come off the bench for us. Destroyed the Chicago Sky when the final buzzer sounded and the scoreboard displayed a 35-point thumping. Fans couldn't believe what they had just witnessed, and social media was ablaze with videos of Clark's seemingly impossible no passes and Boston's blocks that sent Sky players into the 3rd row. The contrast was striking, and while Fever fans celebrated a historic night, Sky supporters who were expecting Angel Reese to make a statement sat in stunned silence. The supposed rivalry turned into a one-sided thrashing that no one could have predicted. Let's take a quick look at these box scores. Dana Bonner also just moved up to number 3 on the WNBA's all-time leading scorers list with Boston's 19 points, 13 rebounds, GB 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. That was probably my favorite part of the entire game because she stayed in a little later in the 4th quarter when they didn't need her anymore, but I was still happy that she got that moment. She hit 2 clutch free throws, and now she is number 3, which is such a huge accomplishment, and I'm glad that DB is getting her flowers. Natasha Howard scored 15 points, 5 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell scored 15 points. And Caitlin Clark recorded a triple-double with 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 points. I thought we were disruptive, she said, highlighting the team's defensive improvement. She also praised Dana Bonner's historic achievement of moving into 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list, calling her the strongest voice in our locker room. I thought we were disruptive. I thought we came with a level of physicality. Anytime you can keep a team in this league to less than 20 points in quarters, I mean, that's important. There were many clean catches and looks, but we played through our shortcomings, our coverage lapses, our mismatches, and our multiple levels of effort. And that's what it takes inside the Fever locker room. The cameras captured the pure joy that had been building for 7 months as veterans embraced rookies, and Coach White gave an emotional speech about setting a new standard for the team. This wasn't just happiness after winning a game. It was a team realizing they could be something special. Congratulations, CC, triple-double, double-double, double-double. In the meantime, Chicago's post-game scene couldn't have been more different. Angel Reese's remarks regarding the egregious foul were brief, saying only, "Basketball play refs got it right. Let's move on." Her teammates appeared completely stunned by the loss margin, finding it difficult to explain how a game that was supposed to be a statement game ended up being such a disaster. Clark herself seemed to understand that the team was still building. She acknowledged, "I think we're still finding our chemistry together, but we just have so many weapons, and that's what's so fun." The challenge for our group will be to build from it and appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. Fever won by 35 while still establishing their chemistry. But what does a game like this say to the rest of the league, and how does it set up for the season? I think we're just focused on ourselves. You know, you prepare every single night, and that's what I think's great about this league. You play, and then you have a day, and then you play again, and you have to be able to flush things really quickly. However, I also thought that there were plenty of opportunities for us to improve, which is exciting because, as you know, we scored 93 points and still won by 30, so this wasn't a team that was hoping to get better, rather. It was a team that was now expected to win. The Indiana Fever weren't just back, they had arrived as legitimate contenders, and Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky were just the first casualties in what could be a memorable season in India. The Fever didn't just win a game, they announced their existence as WNBA contenders with a historic 35-point victory that featured Clark's never-before-seen triple-double in a season opener, Boston's shot-blocking clinic, and a defense that made Chicago look completely lost. Angel Reese and the Sky left with nothing but questions and a brutal defeat. All those hateful remarks now seem pointless after being completely outplayed in every aspect of the game. The Indiana Fever's 7-month wait is officially over, and they're better than ever. This wasn't just an opening night victory. It was the first chapter of what appears to be the most exciting season in Fever history. If you're feeling the fever, leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, set on all notifications so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you in the next